San Diego and Tijuana are growing more interconnected every day. New cross-border businesses are booming, tourism is gaining steam, and thousands of people wake up south of the border to go to work every day to the north of it. In the middle of all this is San Diego's Mexican Consul General, Carlos González Gutiérrez. I had the chance to sit with him for a long interview at the consulate recently. I asked him why he's excited about the region's future and about deep-rooted problems that still have major hurdles to overcome.
I have been Consul General of Mexico 3 times. The first one was in Sacramento. I was there for 6 years.
San Diego's Mexican Consul General, Carlos González Gutiérrez, has been here since 2019.
The street is completely full.
El Grito de México.
He tells us about El Grito, a celebration of Mexican independence.
Mexicanos, vivan los héroes que nos dieron patria. And then people respond, Viva! It's exciting. It's one of our traditions.
The consulate itself is in Little Italy.
This is the civil registry as well as passport section, and we have another floor, the second floor, in which we provide more or less the same services.
It offers critical documents and services.
My main job is to protect the rights and the interests of Mexicans who live in the county of San Diego.
There are at least 200,000 Mexican nationals living in San Diego County, and almost half of them are likely undocumented.
The vast majority of those people have established roots in this country, have been living in this country for more than 10 years.
González Gutiérrez says there's no good reason for undocumented Mexicans to live in legal limbo.
It is very frustrating. It is very frustrating because you see the product of their work, of their labor, everywhere. If you don't modernize your immigration regime, you create your own undocumented population in the U.S.
But those are national-level problems.
I had never seen a binational region as integrated as San Diego and Tijuana.
A recent study out of the University of San Diego pins the value of the so-called Cali-Baja regional economy at about $250 billion, with San Diego's booming biotechnology industry creating great opportunities.
We also have talent of highly trained scientists and experts on life sciences and biotechnology. Many of them graduates of U.S. universities.
There are significant regional innovations, like the new cross-border express to the Tijuana airport and the Sentry Pass, which makes it easier for the tens of thousands who live in Baja and come to work in San Diego every day. There are economic growing pains, with many looking south for a lower cost of living.
Using Tijuana as affordable housing for San Diego is creating gentrification in Tijuana. It's creating infrastructure challenges.
One of those infrastructure challenges is a sore spot in cross-border relations. When are we going to get a solution to the border pollution problem?
It is by far the #1 friction issue that goes through my desk every day. The lack of working sanitation infrastructure in Tijuana, a city that grows very fast, is at the heart of the problem. But Mexico is investing resources, our own resources, Mexican taxpayer resources, in order to fix that.
González Gutiérrez doesn't see the new higher border wall put up by the U.S. as a positive, with injuries and deaths up among people crossing illegally into the U.S. And he doesn't think it's making life better for anyone.
Crime filtering through the border, I would say, it's not a real concern. It's perhaps the best example I can think of the divorce between reality and rhetoric.
The Consul General says Baja is thriving with great food, breweries, and wineries. It's a gem for those who know it well, and that leads to González Gutiérrez's other main responsibility, promoting Mexico.
But perhaps 65% of your audience have not gone to Mexico in the last 50 years. Mm-hmm. And that is incumbent upon us to change that.
We recorded the interview last week. That's why there's no mention of the deaths of 53 migrants in a failed smuggling attempt this week in Texas. But it speaks to the problems inherent in the current immigration model.
It's a great conversation, Carlo, and one I think that we need to have living here so close to the border. And there are people that want to come across, work, and then go back home at night. But there's not right now a legal way to do that.
That is one of the ambassador's biggest frustrations, that we can't have a functioning program to make it easier. There are some farm worker programs, but we can make it easier for a lot more people to do a lot more jobs that there's a need for. We have a very low unemployment rate. We need people to be able to work in construction and other jobs, and there's a labor pool over there. But one thing we did point out as well, or he did, is that there are fewer Mexicans coming to the U.S. These days. Their economy is doing better. It's rising. The gap is still there. It's still very present. But Mexico is thriving in a way that a lot of Americans may not realize.
Opportunities for them south of the border to stay there as well. And I know we just saw a very brief portion of the conversation that you had.
Yeah, we're going to have the full interview. It's going to be on our website, cbs8.com. If you want to check that out, it was a very pleasant conversation and eye-opening for some of you, hopefully.
Very eye-opening. Thanks, Carlo.